And now it's time for us to acknowledge the work that our center does in your life. We do that by giving back to the center, and on your screen right now will be several ways for you to donate. I don't need to tell anybody 2020 has been a challenging year, and our Sunday donations are down significantly, but we greatly appreciate everything that everyone has done up until now, and we encourage you to engage and continue to support us so that when we come back from all of this experience, the center is what it was when we had to close down. So now I welcome you to connect with whatever source you'd like to and donate to our center. Hey, so the title of my talk today is You Are a Spiritual Broadcasting Station. I have a little story for you. When I was growing up as a little kid, at our house we had this big stereo. And it was in the living room. And I don't know why we called it the living room, because no one was ever in the living room. They were always in the family room. It was just this room that had furniture in it that no one ever went into except me, because I created a stage. In my mind, I was on stage. I would take my brush and I would sing the tunes of Cher and Michael Jackson at the top of my lungs, and I would just go at it. And my mother would say, "Joey, turn the stereo down," and they'd have the doors closed to the other part of the house, but I just kept jamming because I knew that I had a message and I had something that I wanted to share. And so my talk title today, I can get rid of this. My talk title today is You Are Still a Spiritual Broadcasting System. I had an affirmation that I had planned for myself today and that I've been working on all week, and I'm going to share it with you. Take these words as your own. Listen to them. I am the high-flying vibrational frequency of love and light. I am the high-flying vibrational frequency of love and light. Today, I broadcast this message to all of God's creation. You are a broadcasting system, and you are a high-flying, not high like smoke high, you are a high-flying vibrational frequency of love and light. This week is going to be particularly challenging. I know it, because the election's going to be on Tuesday and there's going to be all this energy around it. I want to make sure that members of our community are vibrating at the right frequency of faith and not fear. It's very easy to fall into both of those camps, and I want to make sure that you're rolling into the one that has faith. So here we go. We are vibrational beings. We are constantly broadcasting into creative law the particular vibrational frequency of our thoughts, beliefs, and feelings. We are constantly emanating into this creative energy through our thoughts and our actions and our feelings at a certain vibration. And you know when you're vibrating on a great level or a really positive level. We also know when we have low-level thinking and low vibrations. Every feeling, belief, and thought has a natural vibrational frequency. It's easy to tap into other people's vibrational activity and frequency. You know this because there are certain people, when you're around them, man, they vibrate and you can't wait to be around them. They have this energy, they have this connection, they have this charisma. Conversely, you also know that there are people whose energy you go, oh, I just know this is going to be the longest lunch of my life. We all know those things, right? So we know the energy. What are you? How are you vibrating? If I asked someone, hey, look, how do you think so-and-so vibrates? What do you think their response would be about you? Are you taking responsibility for the vibrational frequency that you put out into the universe? We attract to ourselves the same vibrational frequency we're tuned into, much like a radio dial that tunes into a particular frequency. I have this new car. It's not new, it's an old car, but it's a new car to me. And it has this system that I still haven't figured out, even though it's been months, but there are thousands, and I do mean thousands of choices to listen to. And it is mind-boggling when you try to figure out which ones you want to listen to. But the same thing happens in our own lives. The same experience is happening daily. When it comes to our health, we choose what station we want to listen to about our health. Is it a positive station that's uplifting me and motivating me to do the right things? Or is it a negative one like, oh, another day, oh, it hurts so much today? Are you vibrating on that level? Which one are you vibrating? Ask someone close to you. They'll probably tell you which one you are vibrating at. But same thing that goes with your relationships. Are you vibrating in a high frequency, trying to keep things fresh and alive? Or are you vibrating in a low frequency, which means your friendships and your relationships are somewhat challenging? People are constantly at odds with one another. How are you vibrating when it comes to your financial security? Are you knowing that financial success and freedom are yours? Are you working actively toward that, changing your vibrational frequency? Or are you vibrating on a level of scarcity, of fear, of lack, of limitation? When you go through all of these things, you realize that there are times in our lives that our frequency needs to change. We need to change the channel. And just like we tune into a particular frequency on the radio, you're constantly tuning in every moment of the day. You are tuned into some frequency, some vibration. It requires us to sit back and ask ourselves, am I tuned in to what I really want to experience and listen to? So ask yourself that question. Here we go, right from textbook. God, as first cause, is the original broadcasting station. He didn't say that, I'm paraphrasing. Extending its vibration out into all of its creation. To the degree that we tune our radio dials into the same vibrational frequency as the original broadcaster in our thoughts, beliefs, and feelings, we demonstrate God's loving vibration in our own lives and ultimately the world. Love this. God, universe, spirit, whatever you want to call this, as first cause, it is the original broadcasting system. And it has given us a lifetime membership. It's not like Sirius Network where you have to pay monthly or whatever that is. You are given a free lifetime membership to this vibrational frequency station. And it says, to the degree that you want to tune in. Do you remember when you were a kid? I remember when I was a kid, we had this thing called the AM, FM radio dial. Kind of archaic, right? The AM dial. Do you remember the AM dial? Whenever you would tune into the AM dial, it would go, and then you'd hear faint words. And then if you tuned it just enough, you got it. And suddenly you go, oh, don't move it, I found it, right? We do the same thing in our life. We can fine tune our AM dial, our mind dial, and sometimes it squeals, sometimes it's not clear, sometimes it's fuzzy, and you hear that sound, that staticky sound. But then eventually you begin to hear the light. You can begin to hear the idea of love unfolding, the idea of something new unfolding in your life. You begin to hear it, and it's a fate. It's off in the distance. But the more and more you concentrate, and the more and more you tune yourself into that vibration, suddenly you lock in, and the music is perfect. You're grabbing your brush. You're doing your number. Does that make sense? I hope so, right? Now we get to share that vibration with not only our lives, but the lives of other people. How are you transmitting to others over the next 48 hours? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, right? Over the next 48 hours, I would love to monitor everyone's what they're transmitting. Do you think you're up to the task of staying in that consciousness that all is unfolding for a higher, greater good, no matter what the outcome is? Are you ready for that? Is that the frequency you want to line up with? Because there's a lot of channels out there that you can tune into that are going to create a lot of chaos, a lot of confusion, a lot of fear, and a lot of anxiety, and a lot of angst. And we can internalize all of that if we choose to tune into that vibrational frequency. Next thing, the laws of mind or spirit are not different than the laws of chemistry and physics. Metaphysics begins where physics leaves off. Everything is movement. Everything we can take hold of and analyze, all things in the physical world or the world of form are in certain rate of vibration and are an effect. The most important part of that statement is this. When you transcend the laws of physics and you are now into metaphysics, that movement, every movement that we can analyze is in the world of form and is an effect. And every effect can be changed. Every effect can be the cause of something else to change. So just because an effect turns out a certain way, if something happens in the next couple of weeks and it turns out a certain way, and a lot of the people will be pleased and some of the people will not be pleased. Remember, it is an effect, and every effect will be the cause to its next effect. We just have to make sure that we keep our vibrational frequency up at a level where we are confident, where we are clear, where we know that we know beyond knowing that all things are unfolding for a greater good. Next part. Water, ice, and vapor are all the same substance, differing only in the rate of vibration. The highest vibration which we experience is from love. So now I want you to analyze all the different emotions that have been flowing through your life experience over the past few months. And there are so many of them. There's a whole host of them. And I want you to start looking at those and thinking about when love begins to show up, how does it change the vibrational frequency? And what I've noticed is this, in my own personal life. When I am feeling somewhat challenged, depressed, anxious, and I have to be honest, I'm going to be really honest. The past few nights, I've been waking up early in the morning, like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. And I've been waking up with a sense of angst and anxiety. And it wakes me up to the point where I literally get out of bed and I have to remove myself because I don't want to wake Trey up or the dogs. And I remove myself, and I've actually got to go down to another bedroom, and I've got to talk myself out of that. I have to talk myself out of that space by talking the right stuff in and reminding myself about what is happening and what I'm doing to create this anxiousness, this fear, and this anxiety, and how I am feeding into it. The second I do that, the one thing that changes is the concept of love, unconditional love that the universe has for me and all people. And once that little bit of light begins to just start to ignite within my consciousness, and the idea is there, just by the slightest bit, I can see that there's an opening. And when that opening occurs, that anxiety leaves, and I go, okay, time to go back to bed. We've recovered. So just remember, when you're feeling that angst and that anxiety, this is your opportunity to let love in, let light in. And it only takes a little bit to begin to change the direction of your thoughts. Next thing, God is the original broadcaster. We tune into its vibrational broadcasting frequency to the degree that we are into or aligned with it. That original broadcasting system is inviting us to tune in to the greater good. We are meant to be prosperous, healthy, happy, have harmonious relationships. We are meant to experience peace of mind. And when we tap into the original broadcaster, all of those elements are available to us. The only thing that keeps them from us is us. Does that make sense? The only thing that's going to keep you from your peace of mind is you. Now, you may point to other people, because it's easy to point to other people because, this person's making me unhappy, or this person's creating chaos, or this person. But the reality is, no, they're not. They're just doing them. I'm choosing to align with that vibrational frequency, label it as such as chaotic or disruptive, and align with it, and then it becomes mine. Misery loves company. They're going to bring you in. No, it doesn't. That's not a spiritually sound concept. Love loves company, right? That's what we want to tune into. That's what we want to change. When you've walked into a room of people and felt relaxed and completely at home, people talk about that when they walk into the center, and I know you're going to walk, the first time we're able to walk into this center again, we are going to experience that feeling like we are home. You know what it's like when you walk into a vibration that feels comfortable and completely at home. Are you creating that sanctuary for yourself in some area of your life? In your home, or in your finances, or in your relationships? Are you creating, in your health, are you creating a place where people feel relaxed in your presence? Ask yourself that question. Albert Einstein, who actually was a member of the Science of Mind in Los Angeles, he said this. Albert Einstein, for example, claimed no belief in the traditional God, but he sure as heck knew there was something a lot juicier out there in the cosmos. That thing, that juicier thing out there, was all he really cared about, and said that the rest was just details. Somehow, I don't know if it's you or me, I get really bogged down in some details. And those details become very heavy. In fact, they become the focal point. The effect and the details become more of the focal point than the bigger broadcasting system and that thing that Albert Einstein was referring to. That's the focus. When we focus on that thing, all these little things become the smaller stuff. Next part, love and all of its relatives, compassion, kindness, joy, and many more produce a higher vibration than those related to fear. There's going to be a lot of fear, I think. I shouldn't project that out, but I see it playing out already. So let's not pretend it's not there. I'm not one of those who are going to go, oh, everything's going to... No. There's going to be people that are going to be fearful of the next few days, few weeks, maybe a few months. I don't know, right? But I do know this. Kindness, compassion, joy, they begin to change those fear vibrations, those frequencies. And so we have to find ways to implement those things into our life experience and in the experience of other people so it can begin to lift up the vibrational frequency. Because if we all play on the level of fear, our biggest fears will manifest. And right now, just by opinion, there seems to be a lot of fear vibrating around and sucking us into that fear idea, and we've got to reject it out of hand and become more compassionate, more kind, more joyful, and actually spend more time doing for others. You know, it's something simple. We went to the grocery store the other day, and this is just reminding me of something that we've talked about before, about random acts of kindness. And there was a woman in a wheelchair, and she was struggling to get her cart and her things up into the counter. And so immediately Trey and I were offering our assistance, and we got everything from her cart onto the counter. And then we had already processed, we were already paid, we were ready to go, but we wanted to help her out. And then we noticed that she was told that she was out of money on her card, that she didn't have any money left on her card to buy the few groceries that she had. And these were essential groceries. And I looked at Trey, he looked at me without even speaking, without even talking to one another. He just said to the cashier, he said, put this on my credit card, please. And the woman's like, no, that's okay. I'll go to the shelter tonight and get food. He said, no. You know what? Here, let's just do this. It's a random act of kindness. Now, she knew that we did it because we had checked out with her, but are you extending yourself in any way, shape, or form to be of service of others? To be kind and compassionate, to give of yourself to others? During this time of shelter in, it's been easy to take care of ourselves, and it's been a struggle to reach out to other people because of the distancing and the masks and the distance, but there are things we can do. Are you exploring those ideas? Because guess what? That changed our level of vibration and frequency. Because when we walked in, we were having a couple things go on in our life in the outside world that was just a little chaotic, but when we loaded our groceries, we felt good in the moment. We felt better in the moment. We felt that we had extended to ourselves, to other people, some act of kindness. So what can we do to change our frequency? We know this, we teach this all the time. We tune in our receiver to any station we desire and send out to the law whatever vibrational channel we choose to hold, and we do that by ways of this: prayer, meditation, playing, laughing, and I mean laughing out loud. When is the last time you had a good belly laugh? I've been watching some shows on TV. The one thing that this COVID thing has done is brought me to watching some of Netflix things, and I have been laughing hysterically at some of these shows. I mean, it brings me joy, and it changes what's going on. I can feel it even change in my intestinal tract. I can feel it change in my body. When I'm laughing and when I'm experiencing anything that has to do with fun or joy, it changes everything. So I put ways to create new vibration: pray, meditation, play, laugh out loud, love, give, receive. Receive life's good no matter how big or how small, but be in gratitude. Be in gratitude for all that we have. We may not have it all, but I want to be grateful for all that I have. Cultivate awe and wonder is the last thing that I wrote there. I want to cultivate a reason to look at this world and not just wonder with the big question mark, but with awe and wonder, and see that there are some really good things that are coming from all of these things that are happening in the world. and be awestruck by the size of them, knowing that we are equal to whatever it is. Whatever is out there in the world happening, we are equal to dealing with it because the universe has given us that power, that vibration, that frequency, that potential to continue to deal with and cope with and thrive in situations like this. The next thing, mentally practice the best case scenario. Practice the best case scenario, not the worst case scenario. Everybody talking about the worst case scenarios on both sides, on every side, and guess what happens when you talk about the worst case scenario? Everybody's focusing on the bottom vibration and frequency. No wonder the low level stuff isn't moving. That's our sole focus. Faith, acronym for faith. Feel as if the thing has happened. Feel as if the thing has happened. Let go of the worst case scenario and step into the best case scenario and keep that your sole focus. Even though outside things may look different or feel different, my focus, my vibration has to be on the higher level today, this week, all the time, but especially this week. So I want to review some things. We are radio wave receivers and broadcasting stations. Grab your brush, baby, because you are on the stage of life. And what you are singing and how you are singing it, the universe is responding to you at that frequency. We are unified with the vibrational frequency of our Creator. It's always been there for us, will always be there for us. The law always says yes, we know this. So I want to return and go back to one of my favorite stations in life. You know how you have favorite stations in your car? You know, you have their preset. You don't have to search for them. They made it really easy to hit the button and you're there. I want you to hit those buttons in your mind. When it comes to every area of your life, I want you to hit that button. Hit that button so you align with that frequency, because you know what the songs have sung to you in the past. You know what they've done to you in the past because they make you feel so good that you've set them as a preset. I don't know anybody who has a preset that they intentionally set that is set on something they don't want to hear. Anyone? I don't think so. So you know what you like and you know how to get there. The question is, will you take the initiative when you're wallowing in something to hit that button and go to the spiritual preset? We can tune our radio to dial into any station we choose. We are already one with the great loving vibration of our Creator, and we activate that in our lives and give it our attention. Make that the focus. Make that the focus. Let us focus on that vibrational energy. And by consciously tuning into the things that are loving, kind, inclusive, and joyous, we will vibrate at a level, and that frequency will change our lives and the lives of other people. And the last thing is this: gratitude, compassion, service, kindness are all ways of tuning into the highest vibration available to us, and that vibration is love. When you're grateful, when you're compassionate, when you're of service, when you're kind, when you're joyous, those are the ways, when we tune into those vibrations, that is that love coming from us out into the universe, and in return, we attract that love into our experience. Our vibration and our frequency begins to increase. There's a lighter feeling about our bodies and our state of affairs. And when that happens, peace of mind begins to show up. Until then, it seems somewhat elusive. But you have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to tune into that frequency, tune into that preset. You are a spiritual broadcasting system. Take responsibility for its content and its feeling. You produce it, you direct it, you choose what songs are on it, you choose what's being said and what's being heard, so you decide what your spiritual broadcasting system is ready to portray. Over the next few days, that's going to be a really important thing. Don't rely on the other broadcasting systems to tell you how you're going to think. That's your decision. And so ends your lesson.
Okay, that's a great message for all of us. We're so blessed to have that message today. So let's just do a closing prayer. So this is what I know. I know that there is one creative force in this universe, and it is love, it is divine intelligence. It is all there is. It is that which is seen, that which is unseen. It is that loving force. And I know that I am, and I know each one of us is a unique expression of this one life. We are all part of this mosaic that we call love, that we call life, that we call compassion, joy, prosperity. So I know for myself, and I know for you, that all is well. Right here, right now, where we are, is the perfect moment. There are no accidents in this universe. My job is to be that love, to be that compassion, to be that light in the world. That is all of our jobs. And so as we go forth, we remember that. We focus on what we have, on our life. Every breath we take is a gift. Every moment that we have to interact with each other is a gift. It is an opportunity for me to choose who I am in this moment. And I choose love. I choose compassion. And so I know that this election, whatever it is the right choice. It is the right decision to bring us to that realization of what is important in our lives. And what is important is love. It is always love. It is always to come back to that love and to show up. What would love do right here, right now? So that is what I focus on this day, every moment, knowing that life is unfolding according to a divine plan that I may not be aware of, but I rest in that place of peace, knowing that it is always leading us to a higher place. So in this awareness, in this peace of mind, in this state of compassion, gratitude, love, I just relax. I let go, knowing that it is all divine, it is all good, because it is all God. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and we'll see you next week.